Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're just going to give it a minute or two to see if there's anyone else hopping on, and then we'll get started. Did that go through, Angie? Okay.
You are now unmuted. Yes.
All right. Wonderful. All right. We'll get started since it's a couple minutes past 1, but I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Alex Urkel. I am a realtor, full-time realtor, and also co-owner of Blink Marketing Agency, along with Angie, who is also joining us. And just wanted to go through client appreciation events on a budget because we know that the market in most areas are shifting, and we really have to double down and do things differently and get down to the nitty gritty and back to the basics. Back to the basics means doing all of those things for your customers and your past clients that you might have stopped doing or been too busy to do when times were crazy the last few years. And we love events. We do them on our own team. We've been doing them for years. They are a great client retention tool and really, really, really help with referrals. I get a referral almost every single time that we do an event. And really, events aren't just about the event itself. I always tell people, like, the event is about putting the word out and coming from contribution and inviting your clients. It's really about the invite. So to start, this is kind of just like an overview of what I'm going to go over, why they're important, who to invite, how to cover the costs and make them inexpensive, ideas, like where to start, and then the planning, obviously, and best practices. So why events are important, kind of what I already touched on. It's just an amazing way to connect with your database. It's a natural way to connect. I am not a cold caller. I am also not one of those agents that ever reaches out and just says, hey, Mr. Seller, I haven't talked to you in a few years. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest? I know that's like a great talk track that a lot of agents have mastered, and that's wonderful for them, but that's just not how I go about it. And that's kind of, it just would seem impersonal. So this is a great way to call your clients, text your clients, reach out to them, and not only clients, but your database, your sphere, the people that you know, and invite them to something fun without asking for anything in return, knowing full well that you're going to now stay top of mind and going to get referrals and repeat business from them. Because we also know that most of our business does come from repeat business and referrals. The typical realtor, and this was from 2021 stats, earns 15% of their business from their past clients, and 20% is through referrals from their past clients and their sphere. So it's really important to nurture those clients. There was an Inman article that came out a few weeks ago that was saying, like, again, through 2020 to 2022, things got crazy and people kind of just forgot to continue to reach out as they were just getting business. And this is something that we need to go back on and really start to focus on from here on out. And that's kind of what I said before, who to invite. So you have your past clients. You also, your friends, your neighbors, your hairstylists, they're all future clients. So I always invite them as well. The people that I know that may or may not be using a different realtor or have sold their house doesn't mean that they're going to use them in the future. If that realtor never reaches out to them, shame on them. They can then use me. They're going to see my social media. They're going to see my email newsletters that I send them. They're going to be invited to the event. So it's a compound effect when you have all of these people in your database or in your sphere that you're reaching out to constantly. And this is just an additional touch by doing the client appreciation event. So anytime I talk to somebody, or if I do give them a call, and I ask them, this is more specifically with your database or people that you haven't, that aren't your past clients per se, but your future clients, is, do you mind if I keep you up to date on the market? And most people will say yes. I really actually haven't had anyone say no. And that's how I'll get their additional contact information if I only have their address and I want their email, or I only have their phone number and I want their email and address, knowing full well I can look it up in the MLS. So first and foremost, how to cover costs with an event, because this is kind of the thing. A lot of people think that events are unattainable because they see these teams doing these $10,000 events and these, it's just crazy what we see, which is great. Take your whole entire database to a ball game. That's great. But for an individual agent or a smaller team, it's just not attainable. So this is how I started to do it when we were on a team, but we weren't really doing events as much, and we were trying to convince them to do it. And now, even to this day, how we do it, anybody that you partner with on a regular basis, they could be an attorney, an inspector, insurance agent, lender, ask them if they will contribute to the marketing of this, so that you'll put their name on everything. You're going to put it on their marketing materials. You're going to ask them to be there so that they can network during the event as well. If they're one of your lenders or inspector, chances are they know some of your clients that you've used in the past. So make sure that you tell them that. Most lenders have a budget for things like this in marketing. I've also used an insurance agent that I give out their information to. So and you can use more than one. If you say, hey, will you chip in a couple hundred from this, and maybe have your insurance agent or inspector chip in a couple $100. Inspectors know that people are waiving inspections, and they want to get in front of your clients because they want to sell them on the fact that you should get an inspection, even if you waived it on your house, so you know what to expect. So kind of spinning it that way. Partnering with a local, and I'll get into this in a few slides, but partnering with your local community or restaurant. In the past, we had done pizzas on Valentine's Day, and we're able to partner with that restaurant specifically on that day to get them for $8 a pizza. So if you talk to them about how you're gonna send this to 30 clients, or you're gonna do this huge marketing campaign around their restaurant or their business, it's only going to benefit them, and they'll give you that food or whatever it is, or their event space, usually at cost. It's just about going to a few different places, talking to a few different people. You're going to have to do it in person, not over email. Make sure that you ask to speak with a manager and just explain, like, hey, I'm a realtor in the area. I really want to use this particular location. Is there any way that I can get the room for free and not do a room fee or a room rental fee? And then when you get to the point of the actual day of the event, if you're going to be doing food or beverages, do drink tickets so that you can limit the consumption and that you know what you're going to be paying for. So you can do like a happy hour event for a couple $100 if you're able to get that room for free, do drink tickets, and then order a few appetizers. And most people, like I said, start small. You're not going to have 50, 60 people an event. We've built it up to a point where our events with the whole team are like 100 people per event for like a happy hour, but it didn't start there. And we used these exact sponsors when we were starting out, and still do. And then another way to do it is to partner with your market center. Partner with your office. If you have an office with a large conference room and you can move the tables around, if you have a kitchen in your office, if you have any space in the office that you can use, and we have a few events that we recommend where it's like a pickup event, like a pizza pie pickup or a pie pickup or flower pickup, whatever it is, you can easily just use your office for that and not have to spend a dime. Or you can ask your brokerage to host an event with you and invite all the other agents and agents' clients. I actually convinced our office a few years ago, pre-COVID, to do a really cool TSA pre-check, like mobile van. We asked the office to pay for that. They did. They were fine with it because it got their word out, and we had all the agents, and we kind of banded together, and our clients loved it. Simple event, wasn't that expensive because it's a TSA. I mean, they're making money off of it, right? So, but it's just a cool thing to do if you do like a summer barbecue. But try and partner with your local or your office as well. So these are the main ways that we have found, and that's kind of the benefit too of using only a few lenders and recommending lenders, because I know everyone has particular inspectors, lenders, stuff like that they recommend. Okay, a few best practices before we get to the actual event. So keep it small. Like I said, you do not have to have a ton of people at first. We love micro events and VIP client events where you're just inviting your top prospects, not prospects, top past clients, the people that refer you the most. I have a coworker who's actually doing a corporate night at like the Flyers game, and they were able to invite up to 20 people. And I think she got it for like $700 or something, and her lender's paying for half of it. So she has this very exclusive event for just these people, that because she reached out to every sports game usually has like corporate nights where they'll do this. But just having small little events for like those people that are going to give you the most business. Because even if I have, 500 past clients, not all of them are referring me business every single year. So I'm going to keep that list exclusive, and people are going to then want to know how they get on this list. How can I get to that movie night that you rented out the theater? Why wasn't I invited? Well, we only invited our top A clients to that, and the people that refer us. Send me a referral, you'll be on the list. So it's another talk track for that. Know your audience and what type of event people will attend. If most of your past clients have kids, do a kid-friendly event. If they don't, obviously don't do that. If they don't drink alcohol, don't do a happy hour. So just make sure that you know who your client base is, because you want to, again, it's not about the turnout, but it would be nice to have a good turnout, and figure out what works for you with that. One thing that I always recommend doing is to hire a photographer for the event, because this is so great for social media presence to market your event in the future. It just gets your name and your brand out there, and it doesn't have to be a really expensive photographer, videographer. I actually have not a coworker, but someone I know that they actually go to the local university and work with people who are getting their like photographer, videographer, like art degree, and they have those people kind of work as interns for them. You can also put a shout out on your local neighborhood Facebook group, or a Facebook group that's within your area, and ask if there's anyone that's growing their portfolio and would like to do like a 2-hour event with you and take some photos. Because typically in these type of events, they're not retouching the photos, which is ultimately the major cost when it comes to a photographer. So making sure that you can get someone there. And if you can't, and that's not within your budget, or you can't find someone for cheap, take pictures with your phone. Take as many stories on your phone, do as much as you can the day of the event, just so that you can get that word out there that you're having this event. Show people that you're doing it. There's a timeline that we have set up in here, and it's starting about 6 weeks out. If you do this correctly, everyone will remember your events. And we always recommend doing like at least 2 a year. They're going to wonder how they can get invited. They're going to it's a great tool to help build your brand. Check insurance if alcohol is involved in your event. I learned this the hard way. So just make sure that if you are doing an event, and if it's not at, like if it's at your office and you're going to offer alcohol, the insurance is covering that. Have a scannable QR code set up with a link to your Google reviews or Zillow reviews, where people can scan it and write you a testimonial or review right there. Not everyone's going to do it, but it's great to have, and it's a great time to ask for reviews and referrals. And usually it takes 2 minutes while people are mingling. Give drink tickets during the event. If you are doing alcohol, give them one, like no more than that. They can pay for additional ones if they want. You're going to have food set up. But usually we recommend doing a couple-hour event. It's nothing that someone can't pay for. And then my main thing is to follow up and make sure that you are thanking your clients, thanking them for attending. You're going to obviously the whole time leading up to it, market them that they want to come, but follow up with them and send them a handwritten card, thanking them for coming to your event. Every little touch is what that's the purpose of this whole hosting an event. Touching them and making sure that they're invited, touching them on social media, email, text, and then also with a follow-up at the end. And bonus tips, if you get photos with them, print it out and send it to them, or text it to them as well. It's just an extra level of customer service. And then most important, remember that the event is about them. Do not bring up real estate unless they bring it up. Just talk to them about them, where they are in their life. How are their kids? What are they doing now? Did they get a new job? Do they have any vacations lined up? Anything that you can do to make it about them. This is not about you. Having your branded stuff everywhere is, again, not the purpose of this. The event is to be solely about them and thanking them for trusting you in their real estate needs. And if they ever need anything real estate related or not, you're there for them. But that you don't, unless they bring up the housing market and you want to talk about that, that's fine. But just don't bring it up if you don't have to. So planning, the most important part of the event. And this is really what builds that traction for you and gets people noticing you, is to plan. So set a budget, usually for an event with for a single agent, and I'd say like twice a year, I'd budget for about $1,000 for that event. Obviously, like if you're only making, $40,000 GCI a year, it might be a little bit less, but if you can swing it, it's a write-off, do about $1,000 event twice a year. It's gonna, and get someone else to cover half of that cost, like your lender or your insurance agent. It's gonna be super beneficial. You're gonna see a lot from that. So set a budget, stick to it, make sure that you're inviting people at least 6 weeks out so that they can plan, because we know that people, especially with kids and especially going into the spring, they have vacations planned, they have sports. Decide on a location. Like I said, partner with that local business, create the marketing materials, make sure that everything is cohesive. So you have that compound effect. Everything looks the same across every single medium. And then we love to use the online RSVP tools, like RSVPify is one that I use a lot. There's a ton out there, but it makes it easy because anytime someone RSVPs, it's directly put into the system and you don't have to track it on like an Excel spreadsheet or anything else. No one gets lost in translation. So with our step-by-step guide, we have 6 weeks before the event, determining everything, finding your sponsors. 5 weeks before the event is when you start to make those graphics, finalize all of your location. If you're going to be doing food, make sure that you have your like the hors d'oeuvres or the appetizers selected. You want to make sure that everything you have is going to be, it's efficiently done, so that that the day of the event, when you're there, it's all set up and it's all done for you. Unless you're doing it at your office and you're bringing in catering or you're picking up catering. I mean, if you're doing something at your office and you want to do like a Mother's Day giveaway, or you could even do like a barbecue, or Chipotle has this awesome like catering option, which is super cheap and you can get, and it's like Taco Tuesday. There are a lot of different things that you can do that'll make it inexpensive at your office, but have it done for you. 4 weeks before the event, create that Facebook event. That's super important. Invite all your past clients, invite your sphere, your database on Facebook. Because as much as people don't use Facebook anymore, they will see the event. They do use that function of it. And again, it gets your face out there, your name, your brand. Direct mail is not dead. We say this all the time. Send out postcards. Someone may not get your email and it will go into their spam, or they might not see you on social media, but they're going to get your direct mail. That's happened to me multiple times. And then follow up with a text and a call. And then anyone who hasn't responded. So if you have a CRM where you can see who has opened your email and who hasn't, reach out to the people that hasn't. Again, just make sure that you keep hitting them as much as possible, to invite them, because it is something that they are going to appreciate. You're not asking for business, you're inviting them to something. And with that being said, I know we love texting and everyone does love texting, but if you have a demographic of people that you can call and spark that conversation and say, hey, how you doing? I know it's been a while. Just wanted to invite you to our ice skating event that we're having. Bring the grandkids, would love to see you. It doesn't need to be a super long conversation, but just to actually talk to them and ask them how they're doing is going to go a long way in remembering you just inviting them. They might say no, but you talked to them and you invited them, and it left a lasting impression in their mind. The day of event, if it's like a pickup event, like we do a pie pickup or we just did a pie day pizza pickup, make sure that you have a sign-in list of all of the people. Print it out from that online RSVP site. Make sure it's in alphabetical order. We have learned our lesson there as well. It's a nightmare. And make sure you keep that list for your follow-up thank you cards. Take photos, like I said, and that pro tip of hiring a student at your local university or going on your Facebook group, post photos every day after, saying like, thank you so much for everyone who attended this event. It was so wonderful. Tag people in their photos if you have photos of your past clients and you're friends with them. And if you're not friends with every single past client on your Instagram and Facebook, you're doing it wrong. You should be adding all of your past clients to your Instagram and Facebook. That's another touch that you can be communicating with people without having to formally reach out to them. That's just my 2 cents. Have signage for when people are attending, if it's a hard to find place, with like directionals, or if it's going to be at like a restaurant, ask them if you can just put like an A-frame sign or something that's on like an easel that just says like, Susan Realtor's client appreciation event, just so that people can know that they're in the right place. And then have the QR code for the testimonials. So here are a few I'm going to go through even more event ideas. Here are a few that we have done and that we love and that are very cost efficient. So like an ice cream party. I've actually hired like a Rita's Ice for a neighborhood I farm, not even my neighborhood, a different one, and had the Rita's Ice on the last day of school at the neighborhood park. And everyone was able to come up. It was like $500 and my lender paid for most of it. And we were able to do all of the marketing for it. They loved it. I mean, that's a great thing. This doesn't have to be for just your past clients. It can be for your farm. I've had Easter egg hunts as well for my farm and had the Easter bunny come, if you know it's a neighborhood that has a ton of kids. Outdoor movie in the park. We always recommend, and we've done this, partnering with your actual local park and recs department. They will usually take care of like getting the movie equipment set up, and then you're just there to sponsor it and give them some money, and again have someone help you pay for it. You can do a wine and cheese at a local winery where that's a great micro event if you want to invite like your top clients and say, hey, we're going to have get a charcuterie board made from somebody that's local that you support, tag them in it. And bring it with them, as long as the winery obviously allows that. Some of them don't. And then do like a wine and cheese pairing. You can talk to these businesses and have them like set something up for you. Just hone in on the fact that you're a local realtor, you work with people all over the area, you want to do an event like this. Renting out a movie theater, believe it or not, is not that expensive. That's one of the more expensive client appreciation events, but you can do it for about $1,200. And then if that's without popcorn, then you can add popcorn for, free popcorn for the people that referred you. Again, people are going to ask, how do I get a free popcorn? Well, they're one of our top clients. They refer us a lot of business, and, next year, maybe you'll get a free popcorn. So different things and ways to spin it. Here are other ones that we've seen, like a virtual bingo where we're actually creating a new marketing for this, where you have real prizes and you invite everybody to a Facebook Live. So this is like a virtual event, and then you call out numbers. You can send them a virtual email with their bingo card that they can print out, or if you want to go above and beyond, print them out and mail them to the people that are going to be doing the bingo with you, and then have that prize for them. And it's it's great for people with like younger kids too. It's just a fun event that you can get out. Neighborhood Easter egg hunt with the bunny. Believe it or not, you can rent a person that'll come out as an Easter bunny, usually for like $200. So for like a couple of hours. Neighborhood food truck. This is great too for your personal neighborhood or a neighborhood that you're farming. You can get a food truck and say, hey, we're going to probably have 50 meals. What's the cost for that? Or 50, whatever it is. And they'll give you a cost for whatever that is. Let's say the one I actually looked into before was like $600. And then most of the time you're not going to have 50 people, but it's a great event to get your name out in your local neighborhood to say, hey, let's kick off the summer with a food truck, put it in front of your house. Then everyone knows where you live. Everyone knows how to find you. It's just a really awesome way to get yourself and your name and your brand out in your neighborhood. There could be 15 other realtors in your neighborhood, but have any of them brought a food truck for the neighbors? Probably not. Yoga in the park, partner with a local like yoga studio. We've had people, we actually have done this in the past where we worked with different fitness companies and we did a yoga in the park. It was really, really fun. People loved it. Corporate nights, like I said, if you talk to the local sports places, they usually have a corporate night where they discount their prices significantly. And I think ballparks, depending on your team, obviously, are usually even cheaper than like the flyers. Love this one, Valentine's Day Operation Love. This is free. A couple of days before, I guess, do a couple weeks before Valentine's Day, pick like 3 of your favorite local restaurants, book tables for 2, like every 30 minutes. And then a couple of days before Valentine's Day, call up your clients and say, hey, do you guys have plans? Are you interested? We have some reservations we'd love for you to have. If you are interested at this restaurant, you're supporting them locally, you're putting it out there. Most of the people will say, like the people that, can get childcare if they have kids or haven't made reservations, because we know everyone waits to the last minute, will say yes. And then anything that you aren't going to use the day or 2 before, you just call the restaurant and say, I'm sorry, we don't need these tables anymore. And they'll fill them up because again, everyone waits to the last minute. So this is like a really great touch for these people. And it's just something small that you can do. Spring, this is a great one for spring, Starbucks card giveaway. So not necessarily an event, but a way to get your, the word out to your past clients. You can do those virtual Starbucks QR codes, or not QR codes, but like the links. So send an email to everybody the night before the first day of spring, which is, I think Monday, or it doesn't need to be the first day of spring, but just say, hey, here's a link to Starbucks for tomorrow. Enjoy a nice sweet treat on me for the first day of spring. Happy spring. And then the next morning, text everybody the same link with that card and have it on auto refill. So you put like $200 on it, have it on auto refill. Most of the people will not use it. They don't know that it's open-ended and it doesn't expire, but they think it does. So it's going to expire that day and half the people won't even use it. The last time I did this, I think I spent $50 and I sent it to like 80 people. So it's something that is just a fun way to just touch base with your clients. I call it an event because it's kind of like, a day. Mother's Day, spring flower pickup. Go out to your local florist, ask them if you could partner with them and grab a few bouquets and let everybody know that their mothers or the fathers, come pick up some flowers on Mother's Day. If you're centrally located, this is a great way to, show your appreciation. I also love sending Cheryl's cookies to all of the moms on their Mother's Day. It's like a $5 cookie, but it's just an extra touch for those moms. Shredding events, you can do this with your office too. They're super inexpensive. I know everyone's like, they're overdone, but honestly, after tax season, shredding event for all of your stuff, you would be surprised at how many people come and bring all of their tax documents. TSA pre-check I mentioned, photos with Santa or fall photos. Get a local photographer on one of your Facebook groups. We put out a word for this a few years ago and got someone that was able to do all of our photos for all of our clients for $400. And they were great. She brought a backdrop. It was wonderful. And it wasn't super, super expensive. And then coat drive or food drive. If you have the opportunity to order like bags with your logo on it in bulk, order some of those, the farmer's market bags or those reusable bags, order those bags, drop them off to your clients, say, hey, we're holding a food drive. You don't have to participate, but if you do, text me and I'll come pick up all of the food, and then follow up with a thank you to everybody who participated. And it's a great way to be involved within the community too. Same thing with coats, except you probably don't need the bag.
Hey,
So that,
Alex, I'm gonna interrupt you quickly. I see that Andrea has her hand up. I didn't know if you have a question, Andrea, about some of these things before we keep going.
oh,
Give
wait,
you a
Sorry.
minute.
No, I just wanted to say that I just absolutely love your guys' stuff. Just to start there. And just to throw it out there for everybody, we actually did a food truck event at an open house. That might be a good option for people to do. We got two other sellers in that neighborhood that just absolutely loved it. It was such a great idea.
amazing.
So that's not necessarily has to be something to do with your clients, but just to do
Yeah.
it as an open house. It was an investment of $600, but it was
It
well worth it,
got you two sellers. That's a great return on investment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, that's
Definitely.
awesome. We love to hear it. And that's even like take these with like a grain of salt, like use them for other things. Like if it's your neighborhood, if it's your a neighborhood that you're farming, if it's your open house, awesome idea. And make sure like with that it's you plan in advance and that the neighbors know. Like I would also, if I'm sure she did this, but when you invite all the neighbors to the open house, go around with like your door knockers, invite them and let them know about this food truck, and everyone and their mother will be out. So that's awesome.
Yeah, we did mailers.
That's amazing. I mean, it's great. There's like, you can do mass text too nowadays. So there's like, that's great to hear that you did that and it was successful for you.
And I do have one question. Would you guys ever consider having a class on Canva? Like I love
Yes.
your like on marketing stuff, like how to use it. Because I love
Yes.
your guys' stuff, but like trying to make some changes on it. It's I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys ever thought about doing a class on that.
we can. I know we did one in the past. We'd be happy to do another one, right, Ange?
Yeah, I think we get enough Canva questions that it would. We
We
get a lot of
always
questions,
forget that.
Andrea. You're not the only one with Canva questions.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that's something we need to put on the books in the next week or two because we do get a lot of questions. So that's a great suggestion. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. And this is pretty much the end of like event takeaways. Obviously, if you don't get everybody the first time or a ton of people the first time, that's okay. The event is not necessarily about the turnout. It's about inviting them and coming from contribution and getting your word out and branding and just creating this whole like knowledge that you are the realtor that people want to work with, that they get invited to these things. Most people who use a realtor, A, don't hear from them, and B, are never invited to anything again and don't get gifts from them if they do like pop buys or mail buys. So the fact that you can stay in touch and come from these, come from contribution and give your client something to remember. And, a lot of us do become friends with our clients. This is just a great way to do it.
Yeah,
And
you know what? I want to jump in and just say something about that, Alex. I've been in real estate marketing for 10 years, but I'm not a realtor. So I can come from this from a client perspective. And I have bought and sold 5 homes in 15 years. And not once have I heard from any of the 5 realtors I used. Not one time. Actually, Shara, one of our business partners, helped me sell a piece of land. Just randomly, she helped me sell that off. And I've heard from her almost every month for 2 years, but that's because she uses the system. I can't even remember the names of the other agents I used because they have never followed up with me. Now, if that first agent 15 years ago had followed up with me, I would have used that agent. She was great. I don't remember her name. She was great. I would have used her on every single other sale that I had. I just think it's such a missed opportunity not keeping up with your clients, even if you just did these events twice a year and you just flaked out on everything else. I really think you can do better than that, especially with what we provide at Blink. But even if you just did 2 events every year, I would be thrilled. I would love that agent. I'd tell everybody about them. So it's really just more important than you can ever imagine. I also see Shelby has a question as well.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the mortgage industry.
Awesome.
And so I'm on this one and then the mortgage one. I think that one's gone now, right?
Unfortunately.
I know, I'm so sad, but that's okay. But I just want to say all these are so great ideas. I had a gala so I'm the branch business development coordinator. So I do all the marketing. I'm like the middleman for the realtor and the
I love
loan
that.
officer. So I planned events, of course. I had a gratitude gala in December, and it was like a $10,000 event, and I only spent about $1,400 because I went to local places here, and I was Rotary Queen before, so I know how to go and ask for money or ask for donations. And then I had like 72 sponsors for this event.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Ask people for money or ask them. Don't be afraid to ask them, because they're gonna only say no, you know? So
Yeah, what's
these
the worst they could
I'm
say?
definitely gonna run with.
Yes. No, I love that. That's amazing. 72 sponsors. Wow.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it really is, what's the worst they can say? No, it's kind of like in sales. Then you just move on, you go to the next one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's
I
incredible.
like that, what
Wow.
a gratitude gala. That's a nice play on words. Love that.
Yeah, and we invited everybody. We invited like all the agents in town. And then of
That's
course the
awesome.
people that sponsored, which were title companies, they were able to come.
That's so cool.
Wow,
Awesome.
very cool. That's a fantastic idea. I love that. I
Yeah.
don't think we've ever talked about that one before, Alex.
No.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
I do love that.
We do have a question about what is a good cost-effective database that does some automations.
So are you talking like about a CRM? Because you can set up automated like drip emails and emails like that you can for emails in your CRM and follow up. So it's going to prompt you to do like, it'll prompt you up today to make a call.
Yes. So yes, that's what, like right now I have KV Core, which is from my brokerage,
Yeah.
but I kind of don't like it. It seems a little outdated in my opinion. So I just wanted to kind of know some other ones, because to me it doesn't look, it just looks outdated, like old fashioned to me. And I'm like,
Why
is
are
there
so many CRMs like that? I mean,
Uh,
it's not uncommon. It feels like they should all be beautiful because
Yep.
that's what
Right.
their clients want. And they should be easy to use. I can't. It's, you're not the only one who feels like that about the CRM.
So I was like, well, let me just ask to see if you all know any, because I'm like, yeah, it makes me not really want to send them out in that way, even though I
Yeah.
pay for it, because it just doesn't look right. It looks all like bunchy and just not professional in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if I feel that way, because I have tried to utilize it, I'm sure that the client probably, I don't want the clients like, oh, she's not professional, right?
I get it.
So yeah, so I've been trying to figure out what should I do, because I do want to start being more consistent about sending out newsletters and stuff.
Yeah.
And I tried to use the CRM to, incorporate the newsletter, and it just, to me, it didn't look right.
I get it. There's a lot of them out there. Our team uses Brivity, and I don't like it.
Okay.
It's kind of like the same outdated, very like old. Two that are really great with automations and look good are MailChimp and Flowdesk. So you can put for either of those, you can put together drips so that and you can usually set them up like if they don't you can set them up with your CRM. So if you use KV Core as your CRM and want to keep your people in there, you can always use like things like API Nation and stuff like that, where you can actually have it automatically integrate into those if you just want to do it. So I do use our CRM Brivity for like calling people and stuff. However, I use all of my emailing through MailChimp, so I have them integrate. So I just have both, because I'm like, I'm not gonna, put together my smart plans and then put it, because it's just, some CRMs work better as a CRM and some have better email capabilities, and like MailChimp and Flowdesk are good for that, the emails.
Okay,
but really pretty. Like their templates are beautiful. I wish we could use them for Blink. They don't quite work for as large of a scale as what we have.
Yeah.
But they're just beautiful. They have some
Beautiful
great
templates,
templates,
yeah.
really like modern, and they look great.
Yeah.
you said that they talk to each other, so I can.
Yeah, you can use like API Nation is one that I use frequently on other platforms. That'll usually integrate and have them talk to each other.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
I just put this video in here because this is something that you can use we've used this video so often, and it's just a video of, I'm gonna try and play it without the sound, of showing what a client appreciation event looks like, and people like, it's great for marketing in the future. Even if you don't do that specific event again, it just gets people really like hyped up about your event and interested in how they can get there, and you know, telling their family and friends. And honestly, with events, if you want to ask people to invite their family or their friends or people that they know are looking to buy or sell, or might be looking to buy or sell in the future, have them come. Don't limit it at all. Because like I said, the chances are is you're not going to get like a ton of people at once. You're not going to get 100 people in your first event. You just got to kind of build from there and look for sponsors. So that, I think that was it. Yep. Just have at least 2 events a year. It's our main thing. Partner with as many people as you can, find sponsors. And we have, like, when we do our events, we put together a playbook now with all of the marketing materials that you need, the timeline, the text that you would send to them, the email that you would send to them, everything that you would possibly need to execute a good event in 3 to 4 weeks. We recommend doing like 4 to 5 weeks, just so you can really get that word out there. But I've done an event in 2 weeks and had it been successful, as long as you hustle and get that everything out. So direct mail, text messages, social media. I've even had people, as it got closer and they were like, we only had like 10 RSVPs, put it on social media and ask other people to go, especially if you're doing like a Santa event, or like do an event with a moms group. If you're friends with any like mom, or you're on Facebook with any moms group, I've had people be very successful in the past by doing like they got someone that could do childcare. They went to one of, like, they had it at their house, but you could hold it somewhere else, and did like a mimosas event with the moms, where they just didn't talk about real estate, but were allowed the moms to get brunch and mimosas without their kids. So there are a lot of different things that you can do. Are there any other questions on anything? If you ever need anything or have questions about events or how you can personally get it done in your market, or if you need help convincing like your office or your market center, we have a lot of talk tracks. We do this all the time. Don't hesitate to reach out. You can text us or email us. We're always around. And then we will hopefully have a Canva masterclass for everybody as well, because we do forget that we're in that every day. So it's easy for us.
I wanted to mention, even if you're not a Blink member right now, we are going to email out one of the events that we just made. I think Alex mentioned it. It's our bingo event. It's like a micro event. Really would only cost you like a $50 gift card that you're going to give out to the winner. One of our members, Jennifer Jones, she actually reached out to us this week. She said a lot of agents in her area are doing that, and she wanted a template. So we whipped one up for her, and I'm going to email it out to you guys. If you are Blink members though, and you haven't checked out our database of events, definitely go into the events section in the portal and take a look at those, because I mean, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to do that.
I just want to ask, is it recorded where we can get a copy of this?
It's actually live on Facebook right now. So you can go ahead and go back and watch it on our Facebook page, but I'm going to email that out as well. So, so if you want to watch it, you can look in your email, or just hop on over to the Blink Marketing Agency Facebook page and you can watch it right now.
I'll look at the email later. I'm watching it, but I want to look at it again later. So I'll look at the email. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you for being here.
Yep. We'll set it out.
Okay.
Hey,
Any
it's
other
Andrea again. I just have
questions? Oh, go
one quick question, because I know I keep bugging you guys about events. Like, I'm like, those emails come out and I saw something, but then it's no longer available online. Like, is there a way that we could get access to all of your archives, or should I just keep emailing you about specific
Did we not get
events?
back to you? I'm sorry.
You
we
did.
didn't get back to
No, you
Oh.
always have. That's what I'm saying. You always have. It's amazing.
Well, we don't put all of the events in our database. On our website, because honestly, we have so many.
Mhm.
And just, I mean, honestly, just from like a business perspective, if we gave you all of our content always, someone could just join us for 1 month and take 75
Oh,
of
I
them,
see what you're saying.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but, and some of them don't work for that season. So we
Mhm.
try to keep about 10 online all the time, and we're always adding them every month, and we try to make them really seasonal. So if you're thinking like, I'm not sure if this is you, but I think someone was saying, hey, I'm doing this thing in the fall. Do you have anything for fall? Or maybe it was spring or something this past winter. Just shoot us an email and I'll look through our database and say, hey, here's 2 that might really work well for next fall if you're planning like, 6 or 9 months in advance. We're glad.
Yeah, I think it was me. I asked about the fall event for the photos. We actually
Yes.
decided to do it now for
Okay.
springtime.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll work for
cool.
So I
spring
just kind of
too.
changed the photos around
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
did all that stuff. So
Yeah, awesome.
No,
yeah.
that's smart too,
And
especially
then
if-
one thing for other realtors who are on the call is I would highly recommend. So my team started up a nonprofit because we started doing a bunch of bigger events, such as last year we did a reggae on the lake event
Oh,
where we literally
cool.
had like huge bands coming in. I'm talking like $60,000. We got sponsors from all
Wow.
over the place. But now we actually did a nonprofit where we're able to get bigger sponsors where, they're more inclined to actually helping us out because it's a nonprofit and it's, they could write it off. So that's just a thought for people who are maybe wanting
That's
to
really
reach
cool.
out to like a big neighborhood event or something like that.
Wow, that seems like an awesome. I'd like to be one of your clients. My gosh.
Yeah, it was, I mean, we had like, I don't even know, like over 5,000 people there. I mean, it was it was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it was-
partnered with like parks and stuff where they did like really cool movie and like overnight events where you can get like a ton of people that aren't your clients and like in that case too, if you have an event where if they're not all your clients, have giveaways there so that you can get their information.
Yeah, I
Like-
was gonna steal the idea of the movie. We were gonna get like a popcorn stand and just give out free popcorn. I'm like, that is so cheap, and
it's
sponsored with somebody like, I mean, Reston, Virginia, like they do movie nights all the time. Like, hey,
Yeah.
can we set up a tent? We're gonna give out free popcorn and just kind of get our name out there. So
yeah, no, anything that you can do and partner with people is awesome.
But no, I love you guys. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. We're glad. All right. Well, we will let everyone go and we'll keep you posted about the next masterclass that we're having, and we'll send this out as well as recording so you have it.